Hello, colleagues. My name is Sarah Mittlefehldt, and I teach at Northern Michigan University. I'm currently working on a project with colleagues from Michigan State to examine how to combine historical analysis with spatial analysis to look at questions of equity and environment in the development of renewables, and particularly wood energy in Michigan. When most people think about the history of renewables, they tend to think about solar and wind. But looking back in Michigan and many other Great Lakes states, one of the largest, actually in Michigan, the largest contributor to the renewable energy portfolio has been wood and wood waste, or what became known as biomass in the 1980s. And so my questions involve how do different scales of wood burning applications, different types of wood burning applications, how have they affected social and ecological landscapes, and how have the relationships around them evolved over time? And so we're looking at residential applications, so the use of wood stoves and outdoor boilers for heating homes, community scale, which is like schools and sawmills that heat their buildings with wood, and then power generation at the industrial scale, again, in Michigan primarily. And so just a quick explanation of some of the case studies we've explored. In the northern lower peninsula, it's a predominantly forested area, and several biomass plants were developed in the late 80s and early 90s, one of which, Grayling Generating Station, was sort of archetypal of development in the northern lower. It was a community that had a long history of logging and forest products manufacturing, and a review of public hearing transcripts from that permitting process revealed very little opposition. One person we talked to, did an oral history interview with, said that, West Virginia has coal, we have trees. And in this community, the plant was really viewed as part of a broader rural economic development strategy. When the same exact plant was proposed for Genesee County, which is in the southeastern corner of the state in Flint, Michigan, there were a much different set of both political and environmental realities that surrounded the plant. As you probably know, the Flint area is a highly industrialized landscape. It's become synonymous with environmental injustice since the Flint water crisis. But even back in the 1980s and 90s, it had become home to many different hazardous waste sites, cement manufacturing, recycling centers. And when the plant was proposed in a predominantly African-American part of the city, residents there opposed it and claimed that this was an act of environmental racism. It was the first time that opponents of renewable energy used the Civil Rights Law of 1964 to try to achieve environmental justice in the state of Michigan. They were primarily concerned not just of green wood chips from the forest or from clippings and such like that, but also from wood waste that would be burned from fuel from construction and demolition sources across southeastern part of the state. And I've only had a quick second to talk about this project, but again, the primary goal of this project was looking at how to combine historical methods, archival analysis, oral history interviews, with spatial analysis to think about how dynamics from the past, both ecological dynamics, but also social and political dynamics, constrain technological development in the future. And in this case, we really were able to see spatially as also historically the narrative, how deeply embedded new renewable energy technologies are in histories that have been developing over decades. So I look forward to talking more with you in 2022. I hope you all are well, and we'll see you soon.